All right, hey everyone, today we're here with Tom at Green Man Growing at his market garden, and we're gonna see what he's growing here in a natural and organic way to feed the community and to better kind of revive back the market way of life in this Devon area. And we're gonna start down at the village farm where a lot of local people all contribute to one really cool space. So we're gonna start there.
I'd been growing vegetables for about 5 years. I started on Vancouver Island in Canada, 2 years there, and then moved down to the southwest when I got back to England. I grew up in South London, so very different environment, but always felt a pull towards the land, and this is where I've been able to make it happen. So East Portsmouth is about as far south in Devon as you can get. It's on a large estuary. There's kind of a triangle of communities. There's Kingsbridge at the top, Salcombe opposite us, and East Portsmouth here. And we're probably the most remote and rural of those. So my take on growing food, especially in this day and age, is reconnecting to local food systems, food sovereignty, and that's why my goal is to provide for the communities around the Salcombe estuary, essentially. And this is the place. I mean, you can't beat the view.
Yeah, you're definitely out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, wow, we're just gonna keep going on little roads.
Yeah.
It's funny, we were following a car for like almost 15 miles of it, and like they're gonna feel like we're just following them.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's many other ways to get out to here, you know?
That's the way. But this is what I love about my life here now, is that essentially the horizons you can see are, this is my world.
Yeah.
This is where I operate. And to me, I have a strong affinity for history. I studied history, I taught history in high schools, and a lot of what I do is rooted in that. And I think a view like this, you can see exactly how we still map on to a system of farms, farmsteads, parishes, and market towns. So kind of everywhere you see an old church spire of a Saxon or Norman church, they are the same farms and the same lands, and often the same families. I mean, out here on the Poor Peninsula, you've got families who are on the record since the 1300s, who still own and run the farms in the area. Wow. So there's a really strong agricultural heritage. I personally, starting my market garden here on half an acre, I love the idea of growing food and being able to deliver it immediately into these communities. So this is Kingsbridge, and that will have been this area's market town for the last 1,000 years or more. Okay. And it will have a royal charter granted in the 13th century to hold a farmer's market. Cool. And that's what I want to tap back into, and what I think there's the potential for so many people to do is to reconnect with local food systems. I think that where you've been in France and Spain, you probably see it more strongly as something that has continuity with the past, is that people still attend their markets, buy their food there, have their local butchers, greengrocers, all that kind of thing. And in lots of English towns, it kind of feels like we've lost connection to that. I'm here to learn from people who know far, far more than I do. So I can come with all the ideas in the world about regenerative farming and how things should be done.
And your training, your education that's fresh and
and
up to date kind of.
Exactly, and I've got so much, I'm galvanized by that, I have so much energy from that. But I also love to hear from the people who've been here for such a long time.
They've been in the local ecosystem, they know the land, they know how the weather's going to behave. They're aware of the pests that they're used to, that they have to deal with over years and years.
Yeah, and they're so giving with their time and experience. I've worked at various other farms in the southwest as an employee, but this is the first time going it alone and starting my own business. So
how do the nerves feel?
Exciting time. They're constant and they're not going anywhere anytime soon, but they kind of drive you forward as well, I think. So
we're at your place now?
Yeah, we're at my place now. So this is Green Man Growing Market Garden. I've essentially got it, what it is this tunnel here, which is 72 foot by 30 foot, which are all my kind of summer fruiting crops. And then I've got my garden out this side, which is all no-dig beds. So we'll start over there and I'll show you what I've got. Yeah, I've planted willow all around the edge of the plot, which is slowly coming up now to act as a windbreak. But it's also basketry willow, so it can be cropped and sold for weaving, which is really nice. So this is the plot. It runs all the way up to the fence line, but for this first season, I've just got these 20 beds here. The top third is a wildflower mix, so hopefully we'll see them starting to come up soon, bring in the pollinators.
Is that a big aspect of your gardening, is like to also do things that isn't just a crop or food that you can sell, but also to like bring the people who make food in, like the bees?
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, it's a regenerative farming project, and the term is kind of searching for an identity at the moment, I guess. So many people use it and apply it to various methods, but to me what it is improving the soil first and foremost, making it resilient so it can be used for food production season after season. But so much of ensuring that the land is resilient is ensuring that the habitats around it are intact and thriving as well, I think.
Yeah, it's like a working with nature.
Exactly, yeah, working with it rather than against it. So yeah, I mean, this season, the beds out here, many of them are kind of a trial just to see what goes well and what doesn't.
For sure.
So coriander and radishes down the end there, dill here, and then a mix of brassicas down there because I lost a bunch to cutworm, so they're mixed in cabbages, collies, broccoli. Pack dry here, fennel bulbs are coming through nicely there. The mustards here, green mizuna, purple mizuna, leaf lettuce for salads. These ones called little leprechaun, so they'll be small head lettuces, or I could harvest them as leaf lettuces. And maureen are the small little gems, so they'll be small, kind of fresh green heads as well. 3 beds of spinach, just to keep the kitchen going again. 4 or 5 different varieties of kale, red cabbages, spring onions down the back, onions here, there's parsley mixed in, 3 different types of beetroot, there's a carrot bed there, there's also carrots in the beetroot, so there's a lot going on.
Yeah, mix it all together. They work together.
Yeah, that's it. There's lots of intercropping going on, companion planting, keeping as much ground covered as possible.
For sure.
These beds will be planted up before long, but yeah.
Okay, so yeah, these are the ones you're gonna work to next.
Yeah.
And exactly. What was your kind of process of preparing like a bed?
So I went with no dig for this season because, again, it's a regenerative project and I want to disturb the soil as little as possible. This farm itself was in a sort of conventional arable rotation for years and years, so the soil is quite compacted. But because it's been organic for the last 3 or 4 and it's just been pasture, there's a good amount of organic matter in it. So basically we gave it a shallow plough all along the strip just to turn in what was there, and then I won't need to disturb the soil beyond that. This was rolls of cardboard, just lengths of cardboard rolled out. It's municipal green waste compost on top, to a varying depth. But
primarily food, or more like
garden waste. Yeah. So there's a place here next to Coastal Recycling who it's essentially free because they've got more than they know what to do with, but you just pay for delivery. So I've had 2 loads of about 12.5 tons come down, and it's gone into here and into the tunnel. It's just a really good way to get started because you're trying to build the soil, you're trying to put as much organic matter into it as possible. So I've got cardboard, green waste compost on top, well-rotted cow manure, which came from Fred in the barn, which is a really nice example of how all these various businesses tie into each other. And then wood chip from a local tree surgeon as well, and he just brings as much as I need. I was kind of hesitant and wondered whether or not it was going to work as well as it's supposed to. But every time I come back, we had nearly 2 months of no rain. And at one point, I think I ended up overwatering because I was anxious about the lack of rainfall. But these beds just hold the moisture so well. So it only takes digging down a little bit and you can feel just how much moisture there is in there. So I've come to worry less about watering during dry spells like this, because there's plenty in there for them to drink.
Do you know, like, relatively how much this cost in seed to plant this area?
Not a huge amount, to be honest. Cost-wise, a couple of £100. Yeah, really.
Awesome.
Yeah, not that much more than that. The expensive part is buying, so
the polytunnels.
The polytunnel, yeah. And the plants that go in there, because first season I know I need sort of cash crops that are going to pay it off and make some of the money back. And I've worked at Riverford before in their tunnels and worked on other projects that grow in tunnels, and that's kind of where your money is made. So it made sense for me in my first season to trial everything out here. Everything out here I've grown from seed myself. It's only in the tunnel that I've bought plants in on pallets, because I just need to get them up and running and producing as soon as possible. Yeah.
Do you feel like the amount of germination and how much growth you've received plays a role in like getting your seeds local that are kind of training for this area.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly that. So I know the people saving the seed personally. I can go down there and actually talk to them about how they've done it, and the seeds that I've got have been grown in the same type of soil, in the same weather conditions, and I can have a lot more confidence that they're going to thrive.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. Should we go see the polytunnel?
Yeah, let's go have a look. This is the green waste from Exeter sort of city council, I guess.
Oh, great.
And they produce it to organic standards. It's all just local municipal waste, which I think is amazing because it kind of ties it back to the community element of the project as well. I mean, everything out there that you've just seen is growing in this.
Yep.
And all the wood chips from a local tree surgeon. And this is the tunnel, which we just planted up last weekend. So I can just do all my propagation in one place, and stuff can go straight out into the field. So there's lots coming on there, and lots more to sow as well. All of this was planted up on Sunday. Aubergines, cherry tomatoes, salad tomatoes, beefsteak tomatoes, and plum tomatoes. And as you can see, so this section here, the topsoil is actually pretty thin. So it's really dry, really hard, and very stony. So I knew I needed to build up the soil well.
And so you've got maybe a foot here?
Yeah, so I broad forked the soil that was there.
Yep.
I had a shallow rotivation as much as I could because it's so hard. Broad forked it all just to open it up a bit. Put the well rotted cow manure down from Fred's barn, and then brought in the municipal compost on top, and just shotted every plant with some chicken manure as well, which was from John Small holding up the road. So yeah, I would say, probably close to a foot in some of these beds. It's probably more like 8 or 9 inches of compost. But
and where did you get the fresh sawn ends of the logs here?
So that's it's all local as well. That's a Rattery sawmill. So that was a suggestion from another friend of mine, and it made a lot of sense for me because it's called slab wood and it's nice and cheap because I can't really do anything else with it. But it just meant I could build the beds higher and hold them together. So this is going to be kind of the heart and soul of the market garden, I think. Really, it's where it's kind of a hub for everything to happen around, and everything can operate out of here into the field. So I'm less dependent on having to be down at the barns where everybody else is working.
Cool.
So I'm looking forward to having it up and running properly. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks great.
But the rest of this for outside, I mean, this is just chives for the ends of the beds. What have I got here? I think that's a load more cauliflower. That's all the courgettes, zucchinis, ready to go out. They'll go out pretty soon. Lots of different types of chard. That's sweet corn ready to pop. My mum sowed all the calendula and nasturtiums yesterday, so they'll be going in here and out there.
You got a flower mom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's loving it. People are more and more concerned about where their food's coming from. They're concerned about the fragility of global supply chains, and there's way more of an appetite for local produce of all kinds and knowing the people who are producing it. I would say finding purpose is the big reason for it. And maybe that sounds like a really cliched thing to say, but it's absolutely true. I didn't start out working on farms. I didn't know anything about agriculture until I got stuck in when I moved to Canada. Although I think, like most people, we're only 3 or 4 generations removed from people who are farming their whole lives. So on my mum's side of the family, her grandparents, great-grandparents, and everybody before were vegetable farmers in the southwest of Ireland. But the previous 3 generations, me included, were just growing up in South London, figuring out what living in a city meant. And I think that's actually far newer to humanity than living a life like this is. So that's been really rewarding. That's kind of the reason why I'm doing it for me. I can't wait for the day where I'm going down to a farmer's market and I've got friends of mine who are also growing vegetables who are lined up next to me and we're all doing a roaring trade. I don't think that it's an impossibility, and I think that more and more people are realising that sourcing food locally matters, and there'll be the potential for that in the near future. But the more people doing this, the better it is for the land we're all sharing, I think.
Hope you guys enjoyed this video, all that we got to see. I really appreciate, Tom, your time.
Well, thanks for coming. It's been awesome having you down. And yeah, just as you said, I think if you feel like you want to work on the land, you should go for it. You'll find a way. If you really, really want to do it, you'll find a way to build something like this.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good message for everyone to kind of take away, that this is something that you can do, and it can feed not just yourself, but your community. And there's a lot of, I think, value and a lot of opportunities to kind of grow your community with you as you grow food. So Appreciate you guys' time, and we'll have another video out in the coming week. And continue to ask any questions below in the comments. Reach out to Tom if you have questions about kind of how he started. I'm sure he'd be happy to kind of talk about his journey a little bit more. So thank you. See you guys.
Thank you.
Awesome.